Welcome everyone to the Caterpillars Late Show with me, Ornella. And tonight we're gonna try something new. We're gonna have a heated debate. So tonight we're gonna debate about serial podcast episode 5. Spoiler alert for those who haven't watched it yet. But on episode 5, Sarah, the narrator, she talks about and finds out if the stories told by Adnan and Jay match up with the evidence the state has, such as the cell towers and timing of everything. So for this debate, I'm gonna welcome my special guests who have been keeping up with the serial podcast since the beginning and have very divergent opinions about it. So first, please welcome Paola Celi, who is very low. She believes that Adnan is guilty, while Gabby believes that Adnan is innocent. So while they're setting up for the heated debate, let's first choose who will start. So, Julia Pereira, please say who will start, Paula or Gabby? Alright then, Paula, it's you.
Okay, so I believe that Adnan is completely guilty of this case, and I have a lot of proof to prove that. And first of all, when Sarah tries to replicate everything that they did under 21 minutes, and she does it in 22, which means that obviously there is a way that they could have done it in time, because she might have made a mistake and he might have not done something that she did or something like that. Okay, so Sarah says, and I quote, "We just did it in 22 minutes and 2 seconds. It is possible." So even Sarah admits that he could have done it, and this is clear proof of that.
Okay, so Paula, it is a possibility, but there's another thing, and there's that on Jay's testimony, on Jay's story, there are many things that can be proved that, like, there are many errors according to the cell tower, and here's an example of a quote. So the towers, the time, and Jay's story are not matching, meaning that many things that Jay said don't match up with, like, the cell towers and all of the evidence that they have. So how could a case be based on a story that doesn't have evidence and doesn't match with the cell towers?
Okay, well, you say there's a lot of fault in Jay's story, but in Adnan's story, there's also big things that don't match up. For example, Adnan always said that he came out from track practice as 6. Here's a quote from what Sarah says directly. Which would suggest Adnan had his phone at 5:38 p.m. and the call pings a tower that is out near the guy Patrick's house, sort of where they ended up ditching Hay's car. Which basically means that he had his cell phone near where they left Hay and before the end of track practice, which proves that he was lying.
Okay, so yeah, he could have ditched, he could have not been in track practice at the time. But according to Will, that is a friend of Adnan that went to track practice with him, he specifically says that, yeah, actually, if you didn't have a family emergency, you had to run an extra 400 extra running the next day. Meaning that if he didn't, like, go to track practice, he would have run the extra 400. And the coach, he didn't annotate, like, oh, if you attended that day, but he did annotate, like, important things. So he probably would have marked that Jay was running because he didn't have a family emergency and he just decided to be late to practice. So it would have consequences, and the coach would have probably remembered until today.
Well, exactly. If you don't have that written down, how are we going to be sure that he did write it down and that he did go? If you don't have any proof, there's no way.
Whoa, we're all friends here. Let's chill down, ladies. Okay, now that things cooled down on this house, let's see, what this episode change your point of view of either of Adnan being guilty or innocent, or hasn't changed at all?
Well, I think that from the beginning, I already thought that he was the one that was guilty, and I've always had that in the back of my head. But still, I can hear your point of view, and I can see how you can think differently. But still, I always thought it was him.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. I think that I saw different points of view today, and I may have, like, changed a bit my mind. Like, I was, like, sure that it wasn't Adnan, but now seeing, like, other points of view and, like, seeing, like, what different people think and divergent opinions. But I still think, like in the back of my head, just like she said, that Renan isn't guilty, and then yeah.
Here the audience went crazy about the debate. But what do you guys think about episode 5 of Serial? Has it changed your opinions? Well, comment on Twitter on our account, Caterpillar's Late Show, with me, Ornella. See you next time. Bye!